I wanted to talk about auctions and silent auctions and regular auctions.
Hey, why don't you give me a sign?
You've been making my own mind. Remember that one?
Yeah, familiar with it. But the funny story about acquiring that jersey, I was on a golf event thing that had a silent auction attached to it. And I had about 4 or 5 bourbon deep. Like I was making friends with Mr. Woodford. And I was like, oh, look at that Ricky Vaughn jersey. I'd love to have that. Only $125. That's a steal. Surely somebody will outbid the opening bid, right? That was my logic. So I legitimately went through like 5 or 6 things that I was like, somebody else will, bid on. And that's how I got stuck with the Ricky Vaughn jersey that nobody else bid on. The things that I really wanted, other people bid on that I lost. And then I've got a Brooks Koepka signed flag that I think I've got sold. But does
the buyer listen to the show?
Of which?
Of our show. The buyer of the jersey.
The jersey.
You hear that?
Yep, it's the Bluetooth thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last time it was a Bluetooth thing. I'm hoping it's not going to come through the recording. The dongle. Because if you turn down the Bluetooth slider, it'll go away.
There it is. Look at that.
Wow.
So does that affect anything?
We're about to find out.
So. We'll find out on Wednesday.
So anyways, the listener of the show may or may not, but not necessarily like it's no big deal.
I just wasn't sure when you said how much you paid for it. If you were like, that son of a...
No.
So you really broke it off in him is what you're saying.
No. I sold it for what I had in it.
Oh, attaboy.
Much to the chagrin of my wife. But she was like, well, you
Much
sell
to
for
the what?
more. Chagrin. I don't know.
Dismay.
Yeah. You got something to comment on that?
Never
Big fella?
heard of that before in my life.
Really?
No. Chagrin?
Really?
I figured you would use a word like that.
You ever heard that?
Would use it right,
yeah.
but would use it.
I have.
I don't use it, but I've heard it.
Much
did I
Yeah,
say
she
it
thought
wrong?
that was funny. Chagrinning.
I've never heard it.
I tell jokes. I'm a
Shit.
funny man. Chagrinning.
I've never heard it. That's why I said I didn't know what you said.
I'm surprised for somebody that talks to as many people as you do. You've never heard that. So auctions, anyways, back to it. Are you guys in, out?
Love 'em.
Freaking love auctions.
I've
I
never-
don't go very often.
I've never been to one.
Good grief.
What? No
I need to go.
way.
You know that you could, the comedy writes itself when you go to an auction.
Well, I'm trying to get a hold of some rabbits. We're going to get into that. So I need to go to an auction.
www.auctionzip.com.
I love a good daggone consignment auction.
Hey, St. Henry Community, Huntingburg Conservation Club.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all over the place. Yeah, we'll go to some auctions.
I've
Man,
heard
you
of
get
it.
We got a couple
end.
guys back here on the bench that's been to a few auctions before in their day. Yeah, buddy. I love them. It gets me right in the feels. I get all cranked up. I ain't got no money to spend, but boy, when they start doing that all for one money shit, I am in.
Dwayne Smoker would
Get my number out.
He would kill them
All
sons
for
of
one
bitches.
money. We got a bucket right here. Hey, buddy. He just yep. I mean, I'm all in. There they go. Ha! I'm in.
Old
Love 'em.
Dwayne, he'd wait till the end, and at that consignment auction up there, the Lions farm auction, the Lions Club farm auction, they'd go through hay wagons of bullshit, and at the end, when everybody's done, they'd start doing the all for one money, and he'd do something like, "I'll buy the wagon for 10," and they'd give it to him, and he'd
Yeah.
load her up, Dave. We're just loading up 5-gallon buckets full of rusty shit. And I'm like, this is awesome.
I was the auctioneer for the Raider baseball thing.
You did a great job.
Well, I tell you what, it's a lot easier when people have had a few beers. Like, I think I'm a few beer deep auctioneer.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like, hey, you go home with a
Have you heard the auctioneer song? I think we've talked about this.
the auctioneer song.
Oh, I can't think of his name. There's a song about a kid that wants to be an auctioneer, and he becomes an auctioneer.
Oh, it's not the Hey Pretty Lady Mama.
No. That's Sold, the Grundy County auction
That's
incident.
right. No, but like the canter, like, hey, dollar bidder, give me $1 bidder, $2 bidder, $3, shit like that. I mean, it's all in your cadence and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I can't do it. I get all tongue tied.
Well,
Tyson,
you got that tongue issue.
Tyson Breedemeyer can do it. I don't know if anybody knows Tyson Breedemeyer.
We heard him at the for the kids thing.
Yeah, for the
FTK.
FTK trivia night out there.
He,
for the kids.
not-
Not the other thing.
Yeah.
Not the other
Okay.
F.
For the
Okay.
kids. For the trivia night up there at the old Teen Outback.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, we weren't at the Teen Outback. We were at
You're at
No,
the
we were at the event center,
For
but it
the
was
team.
for the
I know
team
what you're
out back,
saying.
but for the kids.
I'm picking it up.
Yeah.
That was a rough night. 'Cause You
FTK,
were
I
in a
was-
bad mood, and you were in a bad
Well,
mood.
I just
foot.
got the cancer peeled off. He had a bum flipper.
My foot was.
I tell you
did
what,
not
you
have
want to know
fun.
the worst time of your life
is when me
these
and
two
him
are in
sober.
a bad mood.
Yeah.
It is brutal.
Or when this guy's too drunk.
3 bottles of Snoop Dogg Red send you onto a different platform. But we had, so I don't know. So I buy this stuff at silent auction, didn't get anything that I wanted, and now I've just been trying to
Unload
offload it. Yeah, get the money back I spent.
Trade
on
it, man. That you just got to barter it. You find something you want.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I got this jersey. You remember the guy that? Because Charlie Sheen was all coked up and had the AIDS, and he kept saying he's like a tiger or something.
I got tiger's
or
blood.
winning.
I banged 30-gram rocks. I got tiger's blood. That's. I mean, he goes on record.
I
as that.
bet
Well,
you-
and here's the thing: that jersey's only going to go up when he dies because he can't sign anymore.
That's so you're saying
Is
hit him with a car.
Now this is just me being stupid, but does it say Charlie Sheen or does it
It's
say?
signed Charlie Sheen.
Okay,
yes.
cool.
Yeah,
That makes it even better.
Is it still available?
no, it's sold. I sold it on. I got a
you
guy
gonna
coming
buy
to
it?
look at it later. I got a guy coming by to look at it later. So no, I can't. Tell
I think it looked great hanging on the wall in your studio.
Everybody
right
always
back there.
tells me my bowling shirts look like Charlie Sheen.
Yeah,
So
from
he
the
gets-
3
he
Minutes
gets-
Baby.
Yeah,
Two and a half
men.
men.
close.
2.5 men.
That was a
2.5 men.
movie in the 80s.
Yeah.
Good grief.
Yeah. So that's what I had.
I have one auction story that's probably one of the best stories that I've ever heard in my life involving an auction.
Mm-hmm.
Grandpa Marvin, my late Grandpa Marvin, World War II vet, my mom's dad, huge auction guy. I have been to so many auctions with my Grandpa Marvin. We would anything like we just go to auctions, dinkies all the time, buy goats, buy chickens, just whatever.
You know what we need to do? I'm not sorry to interrupt.
Go
you.
to dinkies.
We need to go to Dinky's and
Then
we
take
need to
Curtis.
record it. And
Yeah.
we just need to commentate.
Mic
It
up.
has,
with the little
it has
lapel
to
mic.
be in the summertime though.
What?
So you can
Then
get
we'll
the
have
full effect.
smell-o-vision.
Yeah,
I mean, are they still
Amish
doing
people.
it right now?
Amish people
Yeah, they're
I
still doing
used
it.
to live around
every
a lot of
Friday.
Where does that contingency of Amish live up there in the valley? Because we see them rolling down Main Street.
Right.
Probably
Right.
about where the power lines end.
That's about where it starts, but they're sneaking over. They're
Now, do they
my
ride
parents-
scooters?
New Order Amish.
My parents, no, straight up. My parents have neighbors that are full on.
So where do you? So on the south, what side of the valley do they live on?
North,
Okay, so like
up near-
heading
up
back.
up near Orangeville.
Oh, so they go to the northeast there.
Well, that's southwest.
Well,
Well-
where he's at, it's that way.
Mm.
Yeah.
Do
The
they
Orangeville
ride?
shortcut?
Do they ride into town with scooters that are powered with
No,
DeWalt drill
no,
batteries?
they ride in with wagons
Wooden
powered
scooters.
by horses.
Yeah.
Be damned.
We
Because
had a bunch of
straight up-
Amish kids on wooden wheeled
I'll be damned.
scooters at home.
Now
back
they
home.
have they have car batteries with lights and stuff in them. You know that.
well, safety first.
Yeah.
Too many Amish get ran over by drunk drivers. That's a
Right.
real thing.
no, it's
Um,
totally a thing.
They'll stop at Miguel's sometimes to get lunch.
Really?
Yeah.
Where?
Miguel's Mexican
Amish
place,
like
yeah.
Mexican food,
and they'll
I'll be
take a
darned.
bucket of water out there for them when it's real hot. It's kind of a nice thing.
McDonald's, but fire cooked it.
for the horses.
Well,
Grandpa-
not the Miguel's for the horses.
Got it. So
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
at. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say the Amish built my neighbor's house when I was a kid.
Amish
Oh.
built our addition. Drank a lot of my beer.
So our
Well, I don't
our
think
house,
that's Amish then.
Our house now.
Bullshit.
No, our house.
You ever been to Davies County? Go ahead, Curtis.
Well, I say
Sorry.
our house went up in about 8 months. That's how long it took, and our neighbor's house went up in about
8 days.
8 days. The dust settled, and the house was up, and there's just a bunch of empty cases of Mountain Dew.
And
That's what they. A
Mountain Dew
lot
and
of bush light.
footprints.
A lot of bush light.
Dude,
Bush Light.
footprints.
Mountain
if
Dew
you
and bush light.
if you drive to northern Davies County right now or northern Martin County, and you ask them what Amish water is, 9 times out of 10 they're going to say Bush Light. Like they drink.
I didn't know
the
they drank.
Oh, we had this
God,
kid out here
yes.
probably 12 running the rafters, just nailing shit down out there. And I was like, man, they're pretty good for 3 of them. And as soon as I came out, I was like, man, they spend a lot of time in the shop. I thought they was just checking it out. Then my keg went dry, and like a day later, the house was done. They were just milking it out for the keg, I think.
Yeah.
Good on them.
Grandpa Marvin and I are at this auction.
Oh, yeah.
Coming back.
Yep.
One more auction story, and then we can move it along. Cold wintertime. One of those torpedo heaters,
Hell yeah.
jet blowers. Right on the back side of that torpedo heater, or the front of it, was a big fan. to push that hot air into this wall tent that they had a bunch of this shit set up. And this woman was standing in front of this contraption, this heating unit, with a goose down jacket on.
Oh boy.
And the heat that was coming through that fan melted a hole in that goose down jacket, and that sumbitch blew up like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and goose feathers just went everywhere like a bomb went off. It was awesome. Like the whole room just automatically was full of goose feathers. It was awesome.
That was at Dinky's?
No, I was just at some old podunk auction out in the middle of nowhere where the auctioneer comes and sets up on the wagon and has his little speaker box here.
Yeah.
There's a guy that runs an auction house over in Ferdinand, and he literally probably has a speaker box from 1945. And it is,
You think he's looking
I
to
always
sell it?
preferred Andre
it is
3000.
terrible. It is terrible to listen to. You can't hear nothing. That land auction,
Yeah.
that guy did it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
It's like, all right, here we go. We're out here and looking at this parcel down here on the road down at 1025. Here we go. We got a starting bid.
and it just sounds like shit.
But it sounds
But
vintage.
everybody knows what he needed.
It sounds
Vintage.
vintage. Yeah.
Yeah, vintage.
Tell him you'll give him $40 for it.
All for one money.
Anyway, that's all I had.